So what exactly is a no penalty CD? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a CD, an agreement that you actually enter with the bank to lock in a certain interest rate or yield in this case. However, though, because it is no penalty, you can take your money out whenever you actually want. There's usually a period of 10 days. As long as you wait 10 days, you can take your money out the next day, no problem, and there won't be a penalty. And as you guys know, usually when it comes to CDs, if it's like a 1-year CD or so, you can expect to basically lose 3 months of simple interest, and that can actually eat up into your capital, the money you actually put in. But in this case, there is no penalty for basically taking your money and running in case you actually find a better opportunity, in case you actually want to use your money for something else. So a good question that I'm probably going to get asked in this video, so I want to actually be ahead of it, is basically, Tommy, would you recommend this for a emergency fund? Like, can I put my money in a no penalty CD if it's like for emergencies? The answer is potentially you can, because there is no loop in a way for the bank as far as this entire CD, but you actually want to read every detail, so this way you know exactly what to expect. But for the most part, if you have, for example, your emergency money that you had there for like a year or two, and you're like, well, I actually want to lock in a certain interest rate, but in case I do need it for emergencies, I want to be able to take the money out without losing anything. The answer is it wouldn't really be such a bad idea. But what about money I actually want to park, Tommy? The answer is it also wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, let's go into detail here as far as, for example, what are going to be the highest rates available and what banks actually offer them, which ones I recommend and which ones I don't recommend. And if overall, I would recommend you actually do this as far as for like an investment or not. Now, the first part, guys, is as you guys probably already know, I don't consider CDs to be a good source of investment money, because yes, you are locking in your money, but you're never going to be making usually like 7 to 8% consistently for like decades or so. If that does happen, it's because interest rates are like super high, and at that point, most likely other asset classes like stocks and bonds are probably going to be making a little bit more, and so on. All right, so keep that in mind. They're not going to be a good source for investment. Usually they are great for parking money, and in this case with a no penalty CD, they might be even great for parking your emergency money, which is like rare in this case. Now, the big benefit is going to be if interest rates right now are like 4.5% or 5%, and you can actually lock that in for like a short amount of time without any penalty, and you want to take the money out, that's pretty good, okay? Not bad at all for money that's being parked. Now, here are the companies right now that are offering the most money, and by companies, I mean banks. And the first one is actually going to be Marcus by Goldman Sachs, okay? And they're making an offer, and the offer is 4.60% for a 13-month period for a no penalty CD. Basically saying, if you, by the way, when it's no penalty CD, you do still have to wait, in this case, at least 10 days, and then the next day you can actually take your money out. So it's a total of around like 11 days of wait, and then you can take your money out, no problem, no penalty, all right? But the whole idea is they're offering you to lock in that rate of 4.60% for 13 months. No problem. So you will consistently earn that amount of money. And if the next day rates drop by like to around like 1%, and everyone's back to making basically no money on high yields, the answer is at least you're locked in for the next like year and 1 month overall. Not that bad. The second option is actually going to be Synchrony Bank, and they're actually offering 4.5%, a no penalty. But this one actually has a no minimum balance, while Marcus actually has, for example, a $500 minimum, which is not that bad either, because most likely if you're going to be opening up CD, you probably have some cash, so the minimum balance is not going to be that big of a deal, unless it's like 10,000 or 25,000 you have to put in there. You know, that's different. But $500, you're probably going to be putting in a little bit more than that overall. But Synchrony is only for a term of around 11 months, so you do have to keep that into play, right? It's only 11 months. And then the last option here is actually going to be Ally Bank, and Ally Bank is actually offering 4.55% for also 11 months, which is like 5 basis points higher than Synchrony Bank, so it's not a big deal overall. So I wouldn't really make much of it, okay? But yeah, overall, these are the 3 best options out there, but there's also a bonus with CIT. CIT is actually offering 4.90%, which is the highest on this list. But why is it the last one? Because I personally have never dealt with CIT, done any business with CIT, put my money in CIT, so that's why I'm not really recommending them overall. But it is an option if you know of them, you've dealt with them, you know how their customer service works. If you do feel confident with them, great. And they're also FDIC insured, at least they advertise to be, so it's not really that much of a big deal. It is safe, but I just haven't dealt with the company. And overall, when I'm putting my money with a company, with a bank in this case, I do want to have, for example, a good relationship with them. I want to know their customer service, and I want to know that I'm not going to have any issues when I try to get my money back and I'm going to talk to people, okay? So that's why I recommend, for the most part, I have Marcus by Goldman Sachs, I have Synchrony Bank, which I have dealt with in the past with a loan, and they were pretty good. And then I have Ally Bank, which is a very highly recommended online bank overall, and they've been in business for a very long time. So overall, guys, no penalty CDs. Are they a good option? They're not a bad option. Are they good investments? Not really. They're not really an investment, but it's a great way to park your money if you need money to actually be parked. And why are these CDs not longer than a year or 2 years? Because again, the bank is taking on all the risks, right? Because they are saying it's flexible. All right, you can take your money out whenever you want. But if it is, for example, a standard CD with penalties to motivate you to keep your money in there, then they're willing to offer it to you for a longer period of time at a little higher rate overall, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. But guys, overall, that is basically it. These are no penalty CDs, all right? Let me know in the comments down below if you actually want me to make a video when it comes to a CD ladder. That's having multiple CDs that mature at different times. So this way you can keep having money come in and have freedom to actually have a portion of your money available to you a lot faster than having to wait 5 years or 6 or 7 years, okay? Comment down below and let me know. And as always, leave me a like on this video. On top of also, if you got value, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you get notified when I post a new video. Join us on Patreon. The link is going to be down below. Here are the people on Patreon make the channel possible. Here's a highlighted person. And as always, up here is another video. Over my face. And as always, long-term team officially out.